Welcome to Parallax Nano. This is the official free SIRIL edition, only for SIRIL. They blur the stars, recover nebulas, and all of that for free. Let's take a look. Okay, so first thing, I'm going to start here with an image that it's already stacked. So this one is an image from my RASA 11, and this is just like an hour and a half color camera. So the image needs to be stacked. And so what I want to do is first rotate this image, as I don't like it the way it is right now. I'm going to do a horizontal mirror. To use the new Parallax, if you don't have it downloaded yet, you need to get this one. There was a problem yesterday with their server, and it took, they said, about 15 hours to fix it. Go into Get Script to find it. Just start writing the word Parallax. I already have it, and this is the one that we need to apply right now. And also, there's two other scripts here. I think one of them is still not available, but let's use this Prism. One is a denoise. I'm going to select. Once we go to their webpage to do a download, we're going to see it. So this starless PY is another one. Select the script with the blue check mark, and then you need to click apply in order to get them. Now that I have my image, we need to do a few steps first, because this script, it's always good to apply it, use it right after the color calibration. If it's a color camera, if it's a RGB, like what we're seeing right here. First, we're going to stack the image, which is what I have here. Second, we're going to crop. If we are going to crop this image, then the plate solve needs to be next. If the image is already cropped and plate solved, then you go to background extraction. And remember, to move the image around, it's Control and left click, and then you get this tool here. If not, you're not going to be able to do what I am doing right now. Let me just go to Astrometry, Image Plate Solver. Want to try without the star catalog, and I'm going to, like I said, get the metadata from the image. That information, it's there. For my surprise, it seems like it played solved. There was no way yesterday. I haven't done anything to this image. Background extraction. I don't want to do something too aggressive here. And for background extraction, we can use, I don't know if this is the original or what, but that's one of them. I can also use Graxpert. But for now, I'm just manually putting some of this, the samples for the background extraction, as long as they're not on big stars or the nebulosity. And because this telescope captures so much, I mean, it's so much nebulosity that it's kind of like easier just to manually pick these areas, because you see all this right here is nebulosity, so I don't want to go there. Another way to do this is also create a mask and protect the target. Let me check on the type of correction, which is subtraction, which is what normally it's the appropriate one. Just compute background extraction and see what happened. You see, okay. Then we start to see the image. Oh my God. Let's just go ahead and apply. After the background extraction, we already have the plate solved, this image, because I already did it ahead. And then the next step, it's going to be the color calibration. And that one is the photometric color calibration. I'm just going to leave it there with the default settings. So this is one of those processes that sometimes you don't see much, sometimes you do. It succeeded, so let's see. 4. And after, absolutely no change. You see what I'm saying? Don't be disappointed if you don't see anything. It all depends on the target and the conditions that we're taking, all kind of things. Okay, so now after the color calibration, it's when we're going to start with the sharpening tools. And now will be the time to get parallax. So I'm going to go into the script, SyQon, but there's something much more that we need to do, and I'm just going to see if it's going to open the menu for Parallax. If you click on Python and the window doesn't show up, it's because you failed in getting the script. You need to go back, find Parallax PY, and click on it, enable it, and then click Apply. Here we are. So there are two versions. The Nano is the free version. The Pro is the paid version. I am going to go into use the Nano, the free version, which from what I understand is about 80% of the Pro version. Go here into models, okay? So the AI model weights, I don't have them. So I need to download the free models. In this case, I am going to select all three. So now we are into the Parallax website, and you have to create an account. The account is free, but you need it in order to download the free version or the paid version. So I am going to go into all three, download all of them. Now you're going to have the three folders on your downloads folder, and we need to go back to SIRIL. Now we need to install. The scripts are in the download folder. Now I'm going to click here on select the three models, and now I need to go back to my download folder, and from that location they are going to install. Successfully install all three models. Okay, so we're doing good. So corrections installed, the star reduction and the sharpen. So this process also, it's going to do aberration correction, also can do the star reduction in here, and the default setting is right now at 3. But if you don't want the aberration correction, then you will disable this, and if you don't want the star reduction, you're going to change this value here to 0, and then strictly it's just going to do sharpening. I'm going to enable the aberration correction. Let me just go ahead and put here the 3 again, and we can change the levels here. I'm going to leave it at 3 right now. That's the default setting. Normally those work really good. And also on the sharpening, well, the default setting right now is at 1.33. For less sharpening, it moves to the left. And then for more sharpening, you can go all the way to the right, but here we get a warning. It says using a value greater than 2 makes the effect exaggerated, and it's recommended only and exclusively if there is a strong deblur, which in other words, take that image again. This process can also be done on a non-linear image. I haven't tried that, but it can be done. I don't know what is going to happen. That will be another video. I will try it because, for example, in PixInsight with the blur exterminator, it's a delicate thing to do after the image has been stretched. Okay, going here into the advanced settings, on the tile size, overlap, and edge pad, I'm going to leave that on default settings, and eventually as I learn more about this process I can do a little bit more. But here you can see that there is an option for non-linear. The target median, this is something that you can change manually, and it's something that is going to show live. As you can see, this is a temporary stretch anyways. It's not going to affect anything. It's just for the visual part, so that we can have a more realistic result once we get this image, not as bright. As you can see, oh my god, what a beautiful image. This is a good thing to do because, like I said, it's a more realistic of what I am going to have. Has a little delay, so I better give it some time. Here we have a linked stretch, which is going to preserve the star colors, and because I have my stars here, I'm going to enable this. And the for CPU execution, disable GPU. I normally don't do those things. I did some fixing in PixInsight, but I don't know about SIRIL, so I don't want to do that. So let's just go ahead and process and see what happens. Oh, this is so cool. Look at this. Oh my god. Slider to compare before and after. Oh, let me just zoom in here a little bit. Yes, okay, I see it now. This is a beautiful image. I see how this works now. Let me just zoom out here a little bit. Okay, so this will be before, okay? And I'm going to zoom in it even a little bit more so we can really see this right here on the core of the Orion Nebula. So this is before. And this will be after. And this is a very subtle change, but I can see it. I can see what it did. I mean, it's very subtle. Okay, let me just go ahead and check here on the Running Man Nebula. So that's after, and this will be before. So this can be a little bit more actually. It's very subtle. The change is very subtle. It's a good image. Rasa 11 did a very good job. So if I want to adjust a little bit more the star reduction, how about that? If I want to increase a little bit the sharpening, let me just go ahead and process again. This is great, the look and everything. I like that. Sometimes, like in Blur Exterminator, and sometimes the results are so dramatic that the stars look like squares. So we have to. So now I'm starting to see more. Okay, so this is before. I think now I'm seeing more. Right here, I can see it on the stars here. See? Let's just go here. On the nebulosity too, I can see it right there on that part of the nebula. Definitely on this area. So I think that is okay. We can do more sharpening as I go, but this is a very good image. So it is what it is. Okay, good. So then the next step, it's going to be to import in SIRIL. Another thing that I really enjoying about this script is that once you get this result, I can just, for example, just go ahead and disable the aberration correction and even disable, take back to 0 the star reduction and just work on sharpening. So you can do different combinations here. For me, this looks really good. I like more natural looks than something that looks like if you did a coloring with magic markers. That's how a lot of images, they look to me, and I don't like that. Okay, so now I am going to import to SIRIL. And of course, my image is going to look again, blah, 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 like I have before. After you import the image, it's going back to where we left it before the sharpening. Just continue with your workflow. With my image, I will go to separate the stars and go ahead and stretch the image. Stay tuned for more SIRIL tutorials. Please subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching.